Hi there, and welcome back to Transformation Success Television Network. This is Dr. Barbara Young, and I have here my host, Les Brown, and I have my other host, Mr. Hammond Bolden, today. So, thank you for coming back, because we've got part 2, and you don't want to miss this. So I want you right now, call your friends, tell them to please tune in, listen in, because we've got something great for you. More words of wisdom from Mr. Les Brown. So Les, I have another question I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
And it was, you have all of this inside of you, and when you do your speeches and when you're doing your storytelling, where does it come from?
Well, we are taught, as you know, to study to show thyself approved. I decided when I decided to become involved in this area that I would be the message that I bring, that you have to invest in yourself. And when I think about during the middle of the recession, Warren Buffett was asked the question, what's the most important investment you could make? And here's a guy that has billions of dollars in real estate, billions of dollars in the stock market. He said, the most important investment you can make is in yourself. Earl Nightingale said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. And so when I read Dr. Carter G. Woodson's book, The Miseducation of the Negro, he said, if you can determine what a man shall think, you never have to concern yourself with what he will do. He said, if you can make a man feel inferior, you never have to compel him to seek an inferior status, for he will seek it himself.
Yep, that's right.
And if you can make a man feel justly an outcast, you never have to order him to go to the back door. He'll go without being told. And if there's no door, his very nature will demand one. And so I decided, I disciplined myself and made the commitment to read 2 to 3 books a month. I did an event for Bishop T.D. Jakes, and somebody counted the number of my quotes in an hour-and-a-half presentation, and I did 217 and never repeated myself. So this is my passion. This is my life. There's a scripture that said, if a man should gain his life, he must lose it. And first, I didn't understand it, but I think that we were not born to work for a living, but to live our making, and living our making will make our living. So when I speak, I lose myself in it. It is my magnificent obsession. When I speak, I go all in, because my goal is to change lives individually and collectively, so that the people who are in that experience will leave there feeling better about themselves, but talking about my story and how it helped them to get a breakthrough to go to that next level.
I think that's wonderful. And one of the things I think too that I hear you saying, and I've heard this too, if you have nothing in, there's nothing to give. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Yes.
So it's about inputting something there, and wisdom, words of wisdom, And I have often talked to many successful speakers and coaches and people. They read a lot, and they're reading and feeding their spirit, and so it will come out of you.
Yes, it will. And that's an exciting thing. When you are inspiring and motivating people, I believe that inspiration and motivation are perfumes. You can't sprinkle on others without getting a few drops in yourself.
Absolutely.
That's
right.
You're transformed. I'm not wearing a crown. I'm like the lady who said, Lord, I ain't what I want to be, ain't what I'm going to be, and thank God I sure ain't what I was. Okay, so I'm still growing.
Amen.
This is a new chapter for me that I'm still writing, and my best work has not been done yet.
I believe that.
And I've got to train 7 people that will surpass me. And if any of your listeners are watching, if they have a story and want to get coaching and want to invest in themselves, they can reach me at lesbrown77@gmail.com. 7 is my lucky number.
All right.
I'm one of 7 children. I was born February the 17th. My social security number is 267. My address is 2737.
So the
7 is my lucky number. That's Les
and you can get his seminar for
77.
$19.97.
And
No, that's not true.
But we do take food stamps, all right? But lesbrown77@gmail.com. All I want is 7 serious people that are hungry to get their message out.
Right.
Yeah, because most people aren't hungry.
Yeah, you have to be hungry. That's true. That is something.
This is the era what the late Peter Drucker called the era of the 3 C's: accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. I just saw a robot in the drugstore, Walgreens. that you can say, please tell me where I can get the perfume, and the robot say, follow me. I said, come on. They got robots doing room service,
Lord.
selling hamburgers at McDonald's. I said, oh my goodness. So you have to die to who you are now to give birth to the entrepreneur in you.
Yes.
If you're serious. People who are not entrepreneurial, they have skinny children. Yeah, you got to be an entrepreneur.
That's it. That's good.
Yeah.
I had a question for you, Les, and I've actually watched several of your videos, but there was one that came to mind as I was watching it. Is, what do you? Because Dr. Young had mentioned on a couple of shows that success can mean differently for different people.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask you if you could tell me your definition of success.
I'm glad you asked me that question. Someone asked me that question in another way. It said, what has been the highest, most successful moment that you recognize in your life? And it's when my children got together and they said, Dad, we understand why you missed all the special occasions. Dad, we were angry with you when you were in pursuit of the dream. However, we graduated from college with no debt. We're now adults, we're pursuing our dream, and we now understand. We love you, we are proud of you, and we are just amazed at what you've been able to accomplish with no college education, and being able to transform people's lives around the world and build a multi-million-dollar company. I saw something the other day, an interview with Steve Harvey, that had a transformative impact on me because I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, and I'm a great-grandfather. And he went to the hospital with a guy to visit his grandmother. And he overheard the grandmother ask this young man, do you know what your great-grandfather's name is? And he said, no. And she said, because he didn't leave you anything. If he had left you something, you would know what his name is.
Right.
And so when I heard that, my great-grandchildren, I have 3 great-grandsons. My grandchildren and my 3 great-grandsons.
That's important.
They will know what my name is because a good man leaves a legacy for his children and for his children's children. So I'm in legacy building and teaching others how to build a legacy.
And you know what? That's interesting because that was the question I was going to ask you, was about the legacy that you want to leave, because it's so important that you do that. God has given you so much, Les.
Yes.
And it would be a shame if that wasn't transferred and duplicated with as many individuals, because you have been given an absolute wonderful gift.
And I've been given grace. I'm a 21-year cancer conqueror.
Yes.
21 years ago, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. My PSA, which stands for prostate-specific antigen, was 2,400.
Wow.
And it metastasized to 7 areas of my body.
Wow.
And the oncologist said, why are you smiling? Did you hear what I said? I said, yes. 7 is my lucky number. That means that cancer getting the hell beat out of it.
Gotta go.
Yes.
But on the other hand, God said, not your time.
No.
There's a lot more work that I have for you to do.
Yes. And
You've got to transfer information to others. So no, it's not time. It's not your time. I can tell you that. So, and it's not my time. I'm not going anytime soon. I told the Lord, I said, I want to make it to 99, and a half.
Yeah. I want to make it beyond 100 in my right mind.
Yes. Well,
yes. Which I don't have that much to work with.
I tell you. Now the DT was taken off. Now. That was taken off.
Well, but I was, I used to ask my mother, Mama, why do y'all say, thank the Lord for waking me up in my right mind this morning? She said, don't worry.
You'll understand one day.
You get old enough, you'll find out. I went in the room to look for something the other day. I got in there. I couldn't remember what I was looking for. Came out, remember what I was looking for, went in there and found it. Then I couldn't remember what I was looking for. That's it. I thank the Lord for waking me up in my right mind this morning. I park in the parking lot, can't find my car. God said, can I pick you up and drive you around? First, I had too much pride. Then after he passed me like the 5th time, I said, yeah.
Yes, please.
So we got on it. He said, can you tell me what your car looked like? I said, I can't remember. I just got to the key. Oh my God. So then I'm going to sleep early. I'm doing everything I can. I'm taking ginkgo biloba. I'm drinking aloe juice, wheatgrass, you name it.
Okay. Lord, keep me in my right mind.
That's right. I'm praying. I'm chanting Nomi Yoho Renge Kyo. I'm doing everything. I call on Jesus, Yahweh, Allah, the whole gang.
Yeah. Please come and help my friend.
Don't want to miss
Help
nobody.
me. Don't want to miss anybody. Oh, this has absolutely been so wonderful to spend this time with you and to laugh and to just be so transparent. Are there any questions you've got of me? Because I've been just grilling you. Because I have a lot more I sure want to ask.
What I wanted to know is, if you look at your life and you look at what you've accomplished, what is the major goal that you have not achieved that you want to achieve? And so the reason I ask you that, I'm in a place where the Russian author Leo Tolstoy, he said, as I face inevitable death, what is the meaning and purpose of my life that will not be undone or destroyed when I'm gone? So what is it that you're building, that you want to create, that will not be undone or destroyed when you cross over, when you're 99 and a half?
That's an interesting question you asked me, because I got the answer 30 years ago when God called me to do what I'm doing. I didn't know it would be 30 years in the making, though, for me to arrive at that point. But that was to impart wisdom and to transfer exactly the knowledge and the wisdom and to create women warriors. Women warriors who know who they are, who love God, and who are able to spread the love because they know who they are and secure in it.
That's powerful. That work will not be undone or destroyed when you're gone.
That's right.
Because the people, the women, and the men whose lives that you've touched, and the lives that they will touch, and the lives that they will touch, that we're all in God's pyramid, ignited by your mindset, your decision to live a good life, and to ignite the spirit in you to transform people all around the world.
I want to add a caveat to that too, because when God told me women, he wasn't leaving out men, because what he said was making these women strong and loving and secure in themselves. They're able to be the right helpmate for the man.
Yes.
To be that woman, to help that man, because he designed us to be helpmates, not to compete, but to complete.
Yes. Well, most women, unfortunately, help me. Dealing with men who are saying, help me, as opposed to being a helpmate. They're saying, a friend of mine wrote a book called Women Who Carry Their Men. And I just think there's too many grown boys out here and sperm donors who are not facing responsibility of playing the roles that they're supposed to be.
Well, what do you think that, given the current climate and environment, when we're looking at our millennials, we're looking at a new group of young people coming along, and the research says that by 2020 we're looking at 11 million millennials. Your son is a millennial. He's sort of at the farther end of it, but he's just an incredible young man, and I want to thank you for having such a wonderful son. We're going to interview him too and talk about him and his goals and where he's been and how having a father like you and the impact on his life. But where do you think that we're going and our millennials? How do we get
These young people are very interesting. My son John Leslie, I have 5 boys and 5 girls. And the Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. I took him seriously. I look at you too long, you won't be able to pass a rabbit test. Most people out there, they're too young to understand what that means.
They still don't know what that means,
I tell you, I especially John Leslie, he's my youngest, and he's a genius. He is. He's just incredible. Yes, and he helps me to do the things that I need to do. And there are times I look at him and say, you about to make me lose my mind. Up in here, you about to make me act a fool. Up in here. But that's a part of the parenting process. Because whenever I look at him, I just could hear my mother's voice saying, good, now you know what I went through with you. Because I was a problem child, you hear me? And so I used to talk to my brother. I said, Wesley, why don't you get in trouble? They think that I'm crazy. He said, you are. I look at my son, Jonathan, he reminds me so much of myself. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So he keep blisters on my knees. I'm always praying for you. But I'm so proud of him. I love him
you should be. You really should be. He's really, really wonderful. And I'm really proud of this gentleman over here. Really. I mean, it's just a blessing to have you in my life, to have you by my side. Mm-hmm. And for those of you out there, this is my son. Yes. I was 9.
Yes, I love him.
But I love him. I love him. And he works with me. And we just, actually, I report to him, to tell you the truth. But
they run my life. My kids run my life like that, But I'm so glad the two of y'all believe in gray hair, because I don't. We don't believe in that. My kids say, "Oh, Daddy, you look so distinguished with gray hair." I'm 72. I'm not trying to look distinguished. I'm trying to look young.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
But y'all look so beautiful and so distinguished. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, and you are just breathtaingly beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Good old black on crack, honey. It might get a little ashy. No, my medication wearing off. Y'all better close it out. Whatever. Okay. I'm sorry.
This has been wonderful. Awesome, and probably many of you are seeing a side of Mr. Les Brown that you've not seen before. And that's wonderful. This is Au Naturel today. So we want to thank you for listening and viewing the show today with my special guest, Mr. Les Brown, and my other special guest, my son, Mr. Hammond Bolden. So we'll be in tune with you next week, where we're going to be interviewing his son, John Leslie. Yes.
May I say one last thing?
Yes, you can.
You have greatness in you. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Any last words from you, Mr. Bolden?
Once again, folks, I'm just so honored, as those who are viewing, and then those who are listening, to be with this awesome, wonderful man. And we just thank God for that. So again, I'm just honored.
Thank you.
I'm
a legend in my own mind.
Okay.
So thank you very much for listening, and thank you for the viewers out there. Tell your friends they got to watch this show. And this is Dr. Barbara Young signing off. Have a very, very blessed week.